Hi everybody, I'm back and still intent on sharing with you some sneak peeks into the We Will Lead Africa Volume 2, which is a collection of stories about and by African women. Women who are real movers and shakers and are having such an extraordinary impact across the African continent. Today I want to share two short readings with you, which are my own words, and I hope they give you an insight into the reasons why this volume is so important to me, and some of the thoughts about the vision or the purpose of the volume. I'm also sitting with the turbulence of this moment and all of what's going on across the world right now. And I'm sitting with the pain and anger and sadness, anxiety, fragility, all of those feelings about the continued oppression and injustice and violence against Black bodies and Black communities in the United States at the moment. I'm thinking about all of the other places in the world where this type of violence is going on, but maybe isn't getting as much coverage, and really thinking about how they're all connected. I'm thinking about the north of Mozambique, where there has been ongoing conflict that seems to be escalating, and where people are fleeing their homes and don't have the basic things that we need to survive. And I'm thinking about what's happening in Nigeria at the moment. I'm thinking about the many stories we're beginning to hear about from South Africa and police violence that's happening there under the lockdown. And it's all a bit much. And whilst I'm sitting with all of those really tough emotions, I'm also sitting with a real sense of accountability and action, and the need for all of us to really do the work to uncover the ways in which we are complicit or upholding the structures that continue to oppress people all over the world. I'm also conscious that it's June, Pride Month, and Pride is seen as a celebration now, but started with the Stonewall riots, and so there's just so much in the air, so much symbolism in the air at the moment. And I think it's really easy to feel hopeless and feel like there's nothing that you can do. I saw this really awesome image today. I'll link to it. It's by an activist lawyer called Deepa Iyer, and it shows all of the different roles that we can play in social change from wherever we are. And it talks about the need for storytellers and visionaries and weavers and counselors and teachers and builders and guides, and it really spoke to me in terms of finding kind of the slice of the pie, or the role that I am to play in this moment. And so I guess that brings us back to We Will Lead Africa, because one of the things that I know how to do is to tell stories, write stories, share stories, and I wanted to share these two pieces today for a number of reasons. I think they're really relevant. The first reason is that this first piece that I want to read really helped me to get unstuck. So the We Will Lead Africa Volume 2 Women was particularly difficult for me to begin. And I think because it was just so important to me, and I really wanted to do it justice. And so my co-founders at We Will Lead Africa, Yabom and Judith, challenged me. They said, okay, forget about all of that. Just write a letter to your unborn daughter. Write a letter to your potential future daughter about the kind of world you would like to see for her. And so with that in mind, I wrote a short piece called My Dear Child, which I'll read to you in a bit. And it was the momentum that I needed to not only clarify my vision for this, but also my hopes, dreams, and aspirations for the continent. And it gave me the clarity that this volume was about giving people access to all of the ways in which women are already shaping, building, healing, changing, transforming their communities and countries and the continent as we speak, and to bring to life a picture of what could be if the contribution of African women was really given space and support, and that it was showcased and funded and all of those things. So I share this to say sometimes storytelling is the way we can make alchemy with all of the pain and challenges, and sometimes it's the seed that then unfolds into many, many more things that you can't even begin to imagine. And sometimes it's also what helps you to vision, right? And so I really encourage you to, in this moment, imagine what you want the world to look like, what will be different going forward, how will you be different going forward, and write it down. There is power in that beginning. I also want to share it to you because I think share it with you because I think that there's something about being read to. Many of us were read to as young children, And so I hope that listening to this gives you a moment of rest and maybe a moment of healing. Yeah. I hope that listening to these words is calming and inspires you and brings some sense of peace amongst all of what's going on.